It's safe to say that to be at Twitch right now is a little bit questionable. There's a lot that's going on right now, and I know I'm a little bit late on a lot of this, but let's just get into it and discuss what the fuck is happening at Twitch.
Not the leader of a cult, RabbitWithAxe.
So, starting off with what I think was probably the biggest thing for the average Twitch user and anyone that was just watching from the sidelines like I was, the gambling scandal. So, essentially, a streamer known as Slyker scammed $200,000 from both fans, people that were watching, and fellow creators via a gambling site that he was also live streaming. And this caused a lot of issues, both internally and externally, for Twitch and various creators. We had people like Pokimane calling out that gambling was even allowed on the site, and for a very long time, like the last few months realistically, gambling and various other types of subsets of gambling, like poker, have been major categories on Twitch, like top 10 categories consistently. A lot of people were watching these streams, and a lot of people were streaming it as a result, and it is very, very questionable that they would even allow something like this. I personally don't think it makes any sense, because in a way, yeah, sure, some types of gambling are definitely games in and of themselves, but at the same time, it's different from a regular video game. And I know Twitch is more than just a video game service, a video game streaming service. It is far more than that. There's so many different categories. The most popular category is that just chatting category, which obviously has nothing to do with video games, but still, Twitch is supposed to be the gamer's live streaming service. And the fact that gambling was so popular on it, when it was so shady, and so many of the creators that were streaming it had some sort of monetary deal with these companies that they were actually gambling with, it's not a great sign, especially when so many viewers on Twitch are so young. You have to be 18 to gamble. In most places that I understand have actual regulations around it, especially in the UK and US, you have to be 18 minimum to be able to gamble in an actual gambling, casino or anything like that. Even the online sites require you to be 18 plus. So the fact that they are, through Twitch introducing, teens and even sometimes kids into the world of gambling, it's so questionable. There was a boycott planned for the week of Christmas, which is typically one of Twitch's most highest grossing weeks, and I'm not sure if that's actually been stopped by now, but the actual gambling category has been banned, but not completely. Some things like poker and some virtual sports and stuff like that you can bet on are still available. You can still stream those perfectly fine, not against TOS, but things that are a bit more, I guess, hardcore gambling, proper gambling, that stuff has been removed, which a lot of people have been celebrating. I think it's actually a good thing. It's a good move in the right direction. I think they should have gone even more extreme personally, but I'm also not someone who is necessarily susceptible to that kind of thing, so I can't really talk. I'm just looking at the worst possible outcome, and it's not fun. I honestly just don't want people to fall into a gambling spiral due to Twitch, and I'm sure Twitch also thinks the exact same of just, they don't want to cause a load of people to start gambling. So yeah, it's one of those things where it could have crippled Twitch if they'd left it any longer, but it was literally a week between things coming out about how bad it was and them actually making a difference. So, good on Twitch for actually fixing that. And yeah, that's the gambling scandal. Next up, we have something that I think actually happened a few weeks before the gambling scandal, but has really come to a head in recent weeks. And that is the worst revenue split for creators. And I was amazed at what happened here, because essentially it went from a 70-30 split with 70% of all revenue going to the creator and 30% going to Twitch or Amazon to 50-50. And this is kind of ridiculous to me. It's really strange to see something like this, because so many other platforms that have, shared revenue for ads and stuff have about a 70-30 split. It's a pretty standard split. I believe that's what YouTube gets. I believe that's what TikTok gets. So the fact that Twitch basically went, nah, we're not making enough money right now, we're cutting that back to 50-50, is kind of ridiculous. It was already barely worth actually using things like bits for streamers because, you know, at the end of the day, you're paying £1 odd, you know, $1.78, I think it is, for 100 bits, and the creator is barely seeing anything from that. Now it's even worse, and a lot of people weren't very happy about this. Another boycott was planned for the TwitchCon 2022 week, I guess. And as far as I'm aware, that is still going to happen. TwitchCon itself is happening next month. So we'll see if it makes a dent in the actual TwitchCon event. A lot of people have already said that they are going to be boycotting it for that week. So I don't know what to expect, really. I don't know if it's going to really send a message to Twitch. I really think it is ridiculous, though, that they have cut it back so much, especially when they are owned by Amazon. At the end of the day, Twitch, just like YouTube, is owned by such a big, profitable company that it shouldn't need to cut back on creator revenue. It seems almost insane to me that they would even think they need to do this, because at the end of the day, you look at YouTube. YouTube is barely profitable. It's kissed profitability from time to time, but generally it's not that profitable. However, Alphabet, the parent company, or Google, the parent company, depending on where you want to point it at, does make an insane amount of profit and is vastly profitable enough to maintain YouTube despite YouTube's non-profitability. YouTube basically makes enough money to sustain itself with no profit. And Google is able to keep on running it because, at the end of the day, it keeps people in the Google ecosystem. You need a Google account to use YouTube. So it makes sense that they maintain YouTube to the extent that they do. And the same should apply, in theory at least, to Twitch. You know, having Twitch around, it keeps people in the Amazon ecosystem. It also provides people with a reason to get Prime because of the Prime gaming benefits. It's really weird to me how Amazon doesn't see Twitch as a valuable asset in the same way that Google sees YouTube as a valuable asset. And at the end of the day, I doubt they're going to roll back this change, even if the boycott is successful. Because honestly, it's Amazon, and they don't like giving up money when they don't have to. And it's not going to hurt them too much with a 50-50 split. Compared to a 70-30, it's just not going to hurt them enough, the people that are going to leave, for it not to be worth them getting 50% of revenue. And that's the unfortunate thing with this. Amazon, Twitch, whatever you want to call it, is going to be making more money with this, regardless of what happens, unless the entire site just loses everyone. You know, if it goes the way of Mixer and no one is streaming on there anymore, everyone moves to YouTube, like, kind of is already happening. A lot of big streamers are already either moving over to YouTube or are saying they may move over to YouTube if things don't change. It's going to go one of two ways, really, with Twitch. Either they leave it as it is, and they fail miserably, and the site dies, and it's no longer the main streaming service, or maybe it doesn't even exist anymore. Or it still goes badly, but they manage to maintain enough active users where it doesn't really matter, they're still profiting. And that's the unfortunate thing, is the fact that Twitch is probably going to be fine, unless it's not. It's not going to be hurt, it's either going to be killed or keep on living stronger than ever. And that's the worst thing about these boycotts. They're probably not going to do anything. It's probably not going to affect any sort of change, for the better or for the worse, really. It's just going to continue Twitch's rampage as just the streaming service for people that want to stream things. And moving on to some dark topics, and I will say there are, in the next two stories I'll be talking about, some questionable and criminal acts that have been taking place revolving around children especially, and young people, underage people, and I can understand a lot of people may feel uncomfortable about this, so I'm going to say, if you don't want to hear these stories, just stop the video now. Thanks for watching. But, yeah. Next, we're talking about how predators have been targeting young users on Twitch. And this came out in a bunch of articles that essentially 2,000-ish predators have been identified as using the Twitch platform as viewers, watching nearly 300,000 children that have been streaming, asking them to do questionable acts, not anything overly malicious, but things that definitely have implicit meaning behind them that could be read as child abuse. And it's really awkward to talk about stuff like this. I'm not a fan of discussing this at all. I really hate having to talk about this kind of stuff, but it is important to talk about, and Twitch has apparently made some steps towards making a safer place, but they have also admitted that they are at fault, and they have honestly failed at their job, essentially, to protect their users, protect the children that are on their app, and overall just generally just failed to hold things to a standard of security that they needed to. Because at the end of the day, for Twitch use, I believe it's 13 and up to actually stream, and I believe you can actually watch at any age. I don't think you need an account to watch. So it happens quite a lot that young users are streaming, and it was shown through the articles that were released that there are some under 13s that are streaming because they're just lying about their age, or they're using their parents' account, or whatever else. And these predators, these adult predators, are then abusing this. They're, asking these young streamers to do questionable things, and it's not good. It's honestly not good. I hope Twitch can fix this sooner rather than later. 300,000 children. And that's just what these articles were able to identify, what these news organizations were able to identify. 2,000 predators. Unfortunately, most of these people, most of these predators have been identified, and law enforcement or whatever else has been notified of their actions, so hopefully these people will see some sort of repercussions. But if 2,000 are what were found with very little effort, how many are actually on the platform that are hiding it better? How many children are being targeted in reality? How many predators are using Twitch as their platform of choice for finding underage individuals? It's really worrying, honestly, how bad this could potentially be. And at the end of the day, I don't know where Twitch can really go with this, because it's dangerous. It's really bad for their image, and overall, it could get them in a lot of trouble if anything was to go especially badly. Because at the end of the day, Twitch cannot police every single user. There are hundreds of thousands, millions of individual users, and many of those are live streaming pretty much constantly. It's ridiculous to me that, Twitch it can even survive like this. YouTube had to essentially nuke their entire platform to deal with this exact issue with the whole ElsaGate stuff only a few years ago. I just don't see how Twitch is going to be able to fix this. And that's the unfortunate thing. I honestly don't know how they're going to fix this properly. But moving on from one story about predators on Twitch to another story about predators on Twitch, Congressman Matt Gaetz, a US congressman, I don't know too much about his politics other than the fact that I know that he's right-wing. I don't talk about politics all that much on this channel, but I just feel like that is important just to note here. He announced on Twitter that he's going to be spreading his America First message on Twitch alongside other platforms that he already streams on, like YouTube and Facebook, that sort of thing. Gaetz is an alleged trafficker and paedophile who has been investigated by the FBI for such claims. He is known to have taken underage women over state lines for sex that he is also paid for, and his associate, who has already been jailed and prosecuted, he also has basically testified that Gaetz has done this stuff. It's going to be very unusual, I suppose, if Gaetz actually sees any repercussions for this, but it's just another nail in the coffin of Twitch, where yet another terrible person is going to be using their platform. And as of recording this, it's been a few days since he started live streaming, and Twitch has done nothing about it. Twitch has not banned him, nothing like that. This could change very soon, depending on how badly Gates is spreading this message, or how many people report his account, or things like that. But right now, Matt Gates, a alleged trafficker and paedophile, is openly streaming on Twitch's platform. And it doesn't look great, especially with the previous story. It's not a great situation to be in. And especially when Donald J. Trump, the ex-president of the United States, the 45th, he has been banned from Twitch. And he, as far as we're concerned, never used the platform. But Matt Gates asked the ex-president for a pardon, essentially asking that all his crimes or potential crimes would be expunged, removed, got rid of, silenced, anything you want to say about that. So that, to me, really suggests that Matt Gates did indeed do the things that he is alleged of doing. Also, I'm sorry about the plane flying over, that's really loud. But at the end of the day, this is a congressman, a politician, alleged of some of the worst crimes imaginable, who is now live streaming on a platform that already has an issue with predators. I don't think I have to spell it out any more than that. Twitch is in a terrible position right now. Everything seems to be going wrong for them, and as I kind of suggested earlier, Twitch currently has a lot of creators that are moving away from it, and it's kind of unfortunate to see because I'm also one of these creators who used to stream almost daily on Twitch. I haven't streamed in a very long time now, and it was more due to time restrictions rather than any issue with Twitch itself. But I'm thinking if I'm going to be returning to streaming, it won't be on Twitch anymore. Because though I do think Twitch has some of the best features for live streaming, it's just not a good place to be anymore. A lot of my friends, including Gamerboy and Jingles, have both moved over to YouTube for their streaming from Twitch, and I think I'll probably be joining them. Because it is an insane thing how bad Twitch has gotten in just the matter of weeks. In less than a month, all this stuff has happened that I've just discussed in this video. And Twitch isn't looking to fix a lot of it very quickly. They got the gambling stuff sorted, which I appreciate greatly, but everything else I've mentioned is an ongoing issue or ongoing controversy, which I can't help but look at as just the many nails in the coffin of Twitch.tv. I'm not saying that the entire site is damned, is dead, is gone, but the more creators, the more major creators that leave, the more it's going to look like it is dying. How long is it until someone like Dr. Disrespect or Cypher PK, someone of that caliber, someone that big, leaves and brings even more creators with them to a point where Twitch just isn't relevant anymore? I have very few issues with the actual Twitch platform. I think it has some of the best integration for things like tipping and just overall the visuals that you can have that you just can't get with other streaming platforms are exceptional. Emotes, really cool, really good. The fact that you get monetized at such a comparatively low follower count compared to something like YouTube is also exceptional. I really enjoy Twitch as a creator, but I just don't think I can continue to support a platform that clearly does not care that much about the safety and just in general, just its creators. But yeah, that is going to be it for this video, so I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like it, subscribe if you're new here, and ring that bell so you never miss an upload. Comment below, what do you think about all these controversies? If you've made it this far, I really want to know, especially the last two stories, should I say. What do you think? Do you think it is a damning issue for Twitch, or do you think it's something that they could definitely fix and, kind of sweep under the rug sort of thing? I'm really interested in knowing what you think about that. But otherwise, that's going to be it for this video, so thanks for watching, I hope to see you next time, and Yeah, fuck Matt Gaetz.
Look at the screen, you'll be fine. Culture's a disease, but worlds divide. I just wanna take